Severed.
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 Vita.
Vita exclusive.
PlayStation. Sony.
DrinkBox Studios.
Guacamelee.
Creators.
Melee. Melee.
Melee.
Melee.
I believe it's Melee.
Guacamelee.
Creators. DrinkBox Studio.
Developers. Games. Gaming.
Visual entertainment.
Is this how we do tags on our video? Is
I
this
think
how people
so.
find us in searches?
I think this is how fame works, actually. Govinda and I have been playing Severed, a first-person...
You want me to do this like I did
Yeah,
last time?
no, you nailed it.
It is a first-person dungeon-crawling RPG with touch controls for combat.
Yes.
That's
That really
what
does
is.
it.
It really does it. By the developers of Guacamelee.
Yes, and that really shows, I think.
It does. The art style in particular is very, very akin to Guacamelee.
I think straight off the bat, I don't play first-person dungeon crawlers.
Well, I was saying to you, the only thing that I've played that is similar to this is Persona Q.
Yep.
And that annoyed me, but only because I had to spend half my time drawing a map on the touch screen.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like a common feature, but I really appreciate in Severed, you can, like, as you move, you're moving through a dungeon that is essentially like square rooms, but you can freely look around them in 360 degrees.
Yeah, it's actually really good. And also, if you haven't picked up a Severed item, I will point out that the way combat works is touch controls.
Yeah, which is another thing I was sort of iffy on. So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. This game was a bit of a sell for me. It's a first-person touch-based game.
Yeah, but I haven't struggled with it except for like one enemy type that just time and time again pisses me off.
Which one is that?
The four-arm monkey dude of any variety.
And is this the one that attacks twice?
Sometimes there's like the basic one will attack once, and then like it gets more advanced, it attacks twice, and then sometimes like there's armored bits. But
he'll cover himself.
It's the covering of himself that really bugs me, because everyone else will usually get like dazed, and there's a way that you can just destroy them, just smash the shit out of them. But then there's this thing, and he'll just like, you get like 2 hits and then he blocks a different direction.
Yep.
And then you get 2 more hits, he blocks a different direction. And it really pisses me off.
So we should really set the scene. This game has only come out today. The embargo's up today. As of the time of recording.
As long as we post this when we plan to post this.
Guess we just dated ourselves. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this is received. Because like, I was saying to Govinda earlier, playing through it, I didn't like it to start with. And then I like really did. Like, started hitting... So we should give some like setup, right? Without spoilers.
You want to do it? You do it.
Yeah, it's quite vague. So basically, you play as a one-armed woman who finds a demon sword, and she returns home to find that her family's gone.
And it's not quite home, from what I can tell. It's like an alternate...
It's very dark and depressing, and there's a lot going on. Like, things are shattered, her home's ruined, and there's a creature sort of speaking...
It's like a demon. I'm going to say a demon. I feel good about that.
And also the sword itself is a demon, right? And so, like, obviously, like, you're sort of on the back foot to begin with. Like, how did she lose the arm? Like, I'm sure, you know, eventually these questions are answered.
And all that you're given is this demon character says, bring your family back here and I'll return you to where you came from.
Okay, yeah. So that's like...
And so that's your quest, is to go find your brother, your mum, and your dad.
And you do this by, like, wandering in first person, of course, through, like, several dungeons. Sort of the whole... It sort of reminds me of Doom in little ways. Like,
definitely.
You just find the right key and then suddenly you can backtrack and open certain doors.
Yeah.
There'll be, like, symbols placed on them.
Lots of secrets everywhere, and, like, you know it's a secret because the room has a big question mark in it, so you know there's a secret in there, so you just have to kind of, like, just figure it out.
I'm an idiot. I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah, that's a secret.
Yeah, like, and the secrets are like, you'll be in, say, like a brick room and just one of the squares will be touchable.
Yeah.
And that will like usually open a door.
Took me too long to figure that out by myself.
Yeah, no, it really, it's kind of obtuse.
No, but like it's part of the secretness. Like there was I don't want to spoil the secrets, but there was one secret and I just couldn't figure it out until I just stumbled upon it.
To be fair, and like we haven't had any guides to help us. I haven't found that many. Like I kind of just gave up and I was like,
really?
Yeah, because
you gotta take a bit of time, I guess.
I'd like to platinum this one, but
because I'm smashing through these secrets.
Well, I didn't know that the question mark meant there was a secret there.
You'll figure it out.
That changes things.
Yeah. And then the combat itself is interesting because it's you start off and you're fighting an enemy and you figure out there's a certain way to attack it.
Yeah.
With your slashes of your demon sword, and then they start throwing in curveballs like you're fighting 4 enemies at a time.
Yeah.
And they're on all sides of you. And all that you see is underneath the screen is little circles and they start filling up when they're just about to attack. And then you've got to kind of swap to them, stop their attack and manage your battle that way by swapping around all through them all.
Which is pretty hectic.
It gets really hectic.
And the thing is, like, all these different enemy types have different tells for when they're going to attack and you need to parry them. And, like, it's one thing to parry a 4-armed demon monkey, but when 16 dots that turn into eyes are suddenly attacking you, it's a little bit different.
Pro tip, that's actually not a parry situation.
Oh, you just need to interrupt it.
You got to stop the eyes going.
Yep, I figured that.
Same with the little mushroom dudes, and you've just got to like hack the mushrooms down and move on.
Here's my problem. Okay, so let's focus on some positives.
I only have positives. My only qualm is that sometimes the touch controls annoy me, but other than that,
yeah. So it's beautiful. I really like it's sort of like very zany, like that Simpsons episode where Homer chases the spirit wolf fox.
Yep.
Kind of like that vibe. It's very it's Guacamelee.
Very colourful.
Very
but
colourful.
Also dark.
It's very like creepy. This is a weird world.
Yeah.
Like it's so I really like sort of the world, and like there wasn't too much story, but like once it starts getting going, it kind of like reinvigorated me.
See, because I was just losing hours, and it wasn't even the story that I was losing hours to, but it was just like I was just compelled to figure it out. Like,
yeah,
I was like, all right, there's a door here. I know that there's a way to do this, and I would just spend the time and just do it.
Yep.
So I was like, I took a break from Dark Souls, and I just lost hours at a time. Like I think I've only played this game like 3 times, but I would just sink like 3 hours at a time into it.
Yeah, really get into it.
Yeah.
I like and. The music gets a little repetitive for me, especially when I'm like backtracking because
I backtracked like no one's business.
I get lost.
Didn't even notice it. I barely even paid attention to the music. It was kind of in the
played with headphones on.
So do I, but I just wasn't even. It's too focused.
And I like the combat. My problem with it though is that I felt very underpowered to begin with. It wasn't until I'd upgraded like the sword's damage. This has sort of got like an RPG light progression system. As you defeat enemies, they'll freeze for a second and you can sever their limbs or maybe eyeballs or whatever it is.
And whatever they've got. And then so you use those limbs as your upgrade system. So like to upgrade your critical chance, it's going to take up like 16 arms and 2 eyeballs.
And maybe a fucking gizzard.
And then you're finding these generic parts that you can actually transform into other things.
Yep.
So you can turn these generic parts into arms to upgrade other things.
I believe they are actually called gizzards. Yeah. So that's cool. And like, yeah, once I got a few upgrades, specifically into just like base attack and then like things like when you get your combo meter full, you do extra damage. I felt like I was doing some damage because other than that, I was just like furiously rubbing. And I'm sort of like weird. I don't like to like rub the front of my Vita that hard. Like I was like, am I damaging this thing?
Yeah, I was actually
like,
getting like heat friction.
Yeah, like because it gets hectic and you
see. Because one of my qualms is that sometimes an enemy is going to require you to like swipe side to side, which is fine because the bigger you swipe, the more damage you're doing.
That's genius.
But when you're doing like a vertical swipe, the screen's half the size. And
I had to text Govinda. I was like, how do I swipe? Because like I was holding my Vita and I have the power grip, so I sort of like I felt like a pretty good grip on it. and I was swiping with my thumbs like this, and I was like, that's not all right. And then I would like be doing it like this, but I'd be laying on my stomach and my arm would go to sleep from holding the Vita in one hand, and like, it's kind of strange.
My pro tip is I would actually place my Vita down in a battle. It's on a flat surface, so then you can just touch the enemy at the bottom of the screen.
Which is the slower way to do it. I'd been doing that the whole time. Then I realized I could do it with the D-pad.
No, but my problem is if I need to go 2 enemies over, that's 2 pushes of a button where I can just go boom and I swing all the way around.
I'd be holding it in the left hand. I'd have the D-pad covered, and then I'd just swipe and attack with my right.
Because I just put it down. I've got all my enemies down the bottom, and I just go boom. And as soon as I see anyone getting full, I just hit that and then just fucking smash it.
And it is satisfying.
It is good, especially when you get... Because when you get into this, I'm going to call it severed mode.
Yeah, I believe it's called that.
You've only got like a really short amount of time to actually get these pretty precise severances.
I believe it's 1.5 seconds to begin with, and then you can upgrade it.
So when I did one, I think I got a trophy for it, but I managed to sever every limb of every enemy in a 4-enemy battle.
I got the one where you take no damage against 4 enemies.
I did that one too. I don't even know if that's a trophy. I might have made that up. If it's not, it should be a trophy. But it's when you can get them, it's really satisfying.
I feel like this is a good one for trophies.
I feel like it's a very attainable platinum.
Very skill based.
A lot of hidden trophies though, so I might have to wait for that guy to pop up eventually.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
But I feel like I can do all the secrets myself, and I can cover. You gotta go through every area, like at least. Like at least discover every area.
Discovery, yep. That wouldn't be too hard because you can just check him out.
And once you've beaten an enemy, they're not there anymore, and the dungeon is clear. So that helps a lot with.
That is cool. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought that was somewhat random.
It's also you lose limbs, like if you don't. If you don't sever the enemy, you don't get the limbs
ever for the whole game.
So you've got to kind of. It's a bit stressful being like, I need to get these, and that sometimes you mess it up because you're stressing out too much. But you have to get the limbs to upgrade. So
I definitely missed a lot to begin with. Like I was sucking.
There's a lot there though, and especially like once you get into the later levels, like the gizzards you're finding are actually worth like
more,
so much more.
I felt like it's not like it's difficult. I definitely die a lot. I felt like there was some unfair, like artificial bits, like where, without being spoilery, you're sort of in a poisonous area and you're expected to kill a bunch of enemies really quickly, but the whole time you're just dying.
Or just you wait, bro. We can't say too much without spoiling.
Yeah.
There's worse parts than that.
Okay.
It's not insurmountable. There was a battle that took me, I'm going to say like 5 goes to actually get through because I just had to figure it out. Like, you've got to manage 4 enemies all with buffs.
Yep.
And you got to just figure out who is most important to get down first.
Yep.
And just take your time. And it's just a lot of like, sometimes you're swapping through different enemies and you just can't be actually attacking. You've just got to be like defend.
We should say you can stun enemies, or at least one.
Well, there's magic.
Yep. I haven't got the upgrade where you can stun all of them.
That's not. Oh, I haven't got that either. I focused on my physical tree, like my sword tree.
Yeah, I believe the end upgrade in the mask tree is it freezes everyone. Yep. I don't know for how long though. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but so far, like, I've just been really enjoying it. I should finish it in the next day or so.
Yeah, full disclosure, I actually haven't finished it either.
Yeah, no, I'm very close. I'm in the last dungeon, like, towards the last area. I got to a section where it's kind of like your poison area, but not.
Yeah, okay.
And it's even worse.
I feel like I have a pretty good handle on what this is, though. Like, especially, some of the big story reveals. Like, I feel like I can sense where this is going. I
actually have no idea, which is kind of part of my intrigue. Like, I just don't know what's going to happen when I get them all.
It's certainly interesting. Like, the story beats aren't apparent immediately, but if it's going where I think it's going, I think it's going to be not a happy ending.
It just doesn't seem like it's going to be like that old crony that's just cruising through.
Oh, the 2-headed crow that's sort of like...
Oh, no, maybe you haven't even got that. There's like an old lady.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it for there.
But Who knows what's going to happen? I'm looking forward to it.
This is like, it's a strong recommendation for me. It's something different. And it's a very important game.
Well, it's a Vita exclusive.
Might be one of the last. Like,
it's a great developer doing a Vita exclusive, and if you like your Vita,
yeah, they're taking a gamble on this one, and
I can't see you spending, what is it, $20? I don't even know.
I actually don't know. Well, it's not out. We're in Australia. It's
Won't
not
be
out
out
here
until
yet.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
What?
Or today. Through the magic of the internet.
So I can't imagine like you spending the money not feeling like it's worth it. I'd say lengthwise, it's probably akin to Guacamelee. Melee.
I love that you get it wrong every single time.
You know what it is? Because I've made jokes about this for so long that I don't actually know what it is anymore. Look, it's probably, close to Guacamelee length. And I've been having fun.
Yeah, no, it's worth picking up. I would recommend it. Especially, like, what else are you going to play? You're going to play Persona again? Pick up 7. Come on.
And then get back to Persona.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Because you want that platinum. I don't have it, but I want it.
You'll never get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But severed.
DrinkBox. Games. Gaming. PS4. PlayStation.
Slashing.
Touch controls.
Magic.
RPG.
Progression system.
First person.
Visceral action.
On that note,
this has been the PS Podcast. Our talking point.
Is this Australia's number one PlayStation podcast?
Look, it's certainly not number 2.
Is there a way that like someone, if they wanted to talk to us or something, they could do something about that? Or I don't know. How does that work?
They could reach out to us at _PS Podcast on Twitter. Or you can find us on Facebook.
Or I guess this is new for us, so bear with us. Leave a comment below.
Oh, like under the table.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you for your time. And pick up 7.